What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. This is another one of these videos where a lot of people are not going to like me. Where you're going to see a lot of angry people in the comments section, where a lot of people are going to just be denigrating to me in the comments because they don't like what I have to say, but so be it. Y'all know I'm going to speak my mind on this channel. Whoever likes it or who don't like it. First, I want to warn you all, this is a video that will contain some strong language. If you do not like strong language, I suggest you go to another channel immediately or turn this video off and go look at some of my other work, right? So here's the deal. I've noticed that Candace Owens has been getting a lot of love from black folks as of lately. A lot of love. I see a lot of black women and black men saying how they love her. They love her. They agree. You know, I'm about to call her Candace Parker. Candace Owens is, she's basically speaking the gospel and how everybody really rides for her. And a lot of black folks are talking about how they love her. It's an unpopular opinion, but they love her. And I'm going to tell you this. Although I agree with a lot of things that Candace Owens may say about things that are a necessity in our community, although I agree with things that she addresses that certain issues that we may have in our community, you know what I mean? I agree with some of those things. I can never get to a point of love with somebody who speaks these things in front of a white audience who I know don't give a fuck about black people. Okay? What do I mean by that? Okay, Candace Owens, she has a channel set up on YouTube, a channel that does very well. She is a very popular channel. And, here's the thing. While she speaks about accountability, I'm all about accountability. Okay, I'm all about that. I'm a man who had a child as a teenager, as an 18-year-old, went to college, got 2 degrees, bachelor's and master's, to do what I had to do to get myself prepared or make myself employable beyond measure to take care of my daughter, right? And so, yeah, I'm all about accountability, doing what I got to do to push myself to progress forward. But there are a lot of people, especially those who are in Candace Owens' audience, her audience. A lot of her audience spew anti-black rhetoric under the guise of accountability. A lot of them do. Okay? And to me, Candace Owens is no different than Bill Cosby in their rhetoric and how they do it. Bill Cosby is a man that I grew up really admiring. Where as a young man, I'm going to say this. As a young boy, I was in love with the Cosby Show. I was in love with A Different World. Why? They show black families, upstanding black family, black folks in upstanding fashion. Claire Huxtable and Heathcliff Huxtable were black professionals. One was a doctor, an OBGYN. The other one was a lawyer. They were living well, black, beautiful family, right? And the essence of those people were still black folks in that household. We didn't get the image that these weren't really black folks. These black folks were upper bourgeoisie and they just did not relate to the common black folks. You never got that. When I looked at Claire Huxtable, I felt like I was looking at my mama when Claire Huxtable was talking, right? To see black folks addressing and living good. All the other issues they had were they didn't have money issues. I related to that as a young man on the south side of Chicago growing up when we had money issues, right? I looked at that family like, man, that's a dope family, man. They still got problems and they still have ways to address it and get through it, but their problems not money related. But it's still, these black folks are upstanding and they're carrying themselves in great fashion and A Different World showed the black college experience. I went to a black college, Mississippi Valley State University, the alma mater to the greatest wide receiver of all time, Jerry Rice, and what many people feel like is the greatest football player ever, right? So, and Candace Owens has not made any shows like that showed black America in such positive light and showed us to be just real dope, intelligent, outstanding people that we are, right? Although Bill Cosby made those shows and gave us that type of work, he would get in front of white people, and especially that pound cake or whatever, that pound cake speech or whatever. When he went and did that speech, and was caught making fun of black folks, naming their kids all different type of names. They name them all type of silly names. Telling black folks we need to pull our pants up. Telling black parents we need to raise our kids better. All of that in front of a white audience where they clapping their ass off. And they saying to Bill, that's right, Bill. That's right, Bill. Tell these N-words they out of line. Tell these, that's all I can. These white folks clapping it up while he's chastising black folks. Chastising black folks, making it seem like we ain't shit in life. And these white folks clapping it up, bigging him up, almost saying, yeah, Bill, tell these N-words they ain't shit. Tell these N-words they ain't nothing. That's what I feel Candace Owens does the same shit. Her audience is a conservative audience who, again, don't give four flying fucks about black people. And they will come in this comment section and deny it all they want to. Her audience is an audience that will tell you that George Floyd died from a fentanyl overdose, not from Officer Chauvin having a knee on his neck. Her audience is the same audience that will call black people victims when we address police brutality, which is a real thing, right? They will call us wokety wokes, and they will use woke as a derogatory term for us. They will call us victims. Oh, you just acting like a victim. They will act like police brutality does not exist. Her audience will tell, Candace Owens' audience will tell black people to get over slavery, okay? But you can't tell them to get over the Holocaust, okay? And that's a whole nother thing. And they won't want you to forget about anything that happened on the Pearl Harbor or anything like that. They won't tell you to forget about any of those things. You can't forget about September 11th, but they will tell us to get over slavery. She speaks to an audience that only wants to tell us that we have no daddies and we just kill each other all day, which is not true. Yes, there's violence in our community. Yes, it needs to be addressed. But the audience that she comes from, that she speaks to, will tell us they only want to talk to us about us not having no daddies and about us killing each other and about how we need to vote Republican. That's it. They don't want to address anything that other things we talk about. They will act like if we talk about any systemic racism, they will tell us it does not exist. She speaks to that audience. So how much accountability, how much should I praise you when you talking that about black folks to an audience who don't give a fuck about black people? And then when I know you going home and sleeping at night, probably with a white man who probably also does not give a fuck about black people either. Now, I don't know her husband at all. I don't know him from a can of paint. But I can imagine he may share some of those sentiments of a lot of those conservative white folks, anti-black. They have those anti-black views that a lot of them have. She speaks to an audience who have a lot of anti-black views, who have a lot of anti-black, who say a lot of anti-black things. So how much could I deem her a champion of the people when you're talking to a group of folk, when your main audience is a group of people who do not care about black folks like that, who have a lot of racist ideologies and views? How much should I call you the people's champion? How much should I love you? How much? And listen, we all, again, there are certain things that we need to be held accountable for in our community, for sure. But again, when you're speaking it to an audience who I know don't care for real, who only want to denigrate us, who only want to talk trash to us and make us seem like we ain't shit, how much good work are you doing? Seriously, we all know this as black folks, man. There are certain things in our community that we don't address amongst other folks. We talk about it amongst ourselves. Now on YouTube, we can't control that. Anybody can watch these videos. Anybody, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, can watch this video too, right? But when I know your audience that you have built up, that your audience that you have amassed, when I know the audience that you have been spending years pandering to, the audience that you have been spending years making content for, is a group of people who really don't care about black folks, how much should I deem you our champion? How much should I love you? Because I loved a lot of the work that Mr. Bill Cosby made, but then I saw you kept talking down on us in front of white folks, and they clapping it up, mucking, and then doing all of that to be chummy with these white folks that don't really care about us. I'm not saying you can't be cool with white folks. Listen to what I'm saying. You're being chummy with white folks who don't give a fuck about us for real, who really don't care, who have these ideologies that want to look at you as the good black man. And a lot of white folks love Bill Cosby because he was a clean style comic and it's palatable to them, right? And Bill would do all of that. And that's the worst thing about Bill. All of that telling all these black folks all these other black comics, they need to be clean and have a clean style. And then we found out in your personal life, you not so clean, telling black folks to keep their pants up. And we looking at you like, well, you might need to keep your pants up too, Mr. Cosby, right? So, but Bill spent a lot of portion of his life trashing us in front of white folks. And again, nothing wrong with Candace Owens holding black people accountable. But I want her to also hold some of her audience accountable for how they feel like systemic racism does not exist. How they feel like George Floyd died from a fentanyl overdose. How they feel like black people need to get over slavery. I want her to hold them accountable for that same shit. And then I may feel like what she's saying holds weight. What she's saying has a lot of credibility when you're holding your folks accountable, your main audience accountable for the certain anti-black things they feel about black American people. See what I'm saying? So, and don't come over here talking about, oh, you one of these wokey wokes, you're liberal, all of that. Bro, I'm black at the end of the day. I'm black, meaning I'm a black man who grew up around other black folks. Chicago, Illinois, I'm talking about foundational black American people. Not black immigrants, none of I don't grew up around black folks who grandmama from Mississippi. My grandma from Mississippi. My other grandma from Alabama. Yeah, I mean, my friend's grandma from Arkansas, from Louisiana. We grew up around black folks, and I know the pulse of my people, and I know the way you talk to my people, and I know, because I hold my people accountable on this channel all the time, right? I do. But my audience ain't no conservative, anti-black racist mugs who really don't care about people. So when you're talking that shit, you really just giving them ammo to clap it up to trash us. Candace, keep talking about those dumb N-words. Keep talking about those violent N-words. Keep talking about those raggedy N-words. Keep talking about those degenerate N-words. That's what they saying while Candace talking that shit to us under the guise of accountability, which is why I can't get on board. I'm sorry. Even though I agree with some things she says.